Yes, you read that title right. I have it on good authority that the Yamaha MT-07 is the best bike ever made. And if you're watching this video, it either means that you yourself own a Yamaha MT-07 or is interested in buying one and you want some confirmation that this truly is the best bike ever made, or you're here to prove me wrong. And if you are, after you watch this video, leave your comments down below. Let's have a discussion. Let's have a battle even. So without anything else to say, this is why I think the Yamaha MT-07 is the best bike ever made. Before this video starts, if you aren't subscribed, please do so now. It might not mean much to you, but it really makes a huge difference for me. And it's free. You can always unsubscribe if you decide that you think I'm boring. So with that being said, let's get on with the video. First off, if you're here to see top speed, acceleration, cornering, off-roading, all that good stuff, that won't be in this video. I have another video that is dedicated fully to that. It's right here on the screen. You can check the description and watch that video. It's a really good one. It's one of my biggest videos, you know. People really love it. Don't look at the dislike ratio, please. So with all of that out of the way, why have I come up with that the Yamaha MT-07 is the best bike ever made? Well, ever since I started my channel, I have had the privilege to ride a lot of different bikes on test rides from subscribers, meetups. I've ridden a lot of bikes now, and I've been riding for 4 years, and I've tried Yamaha, Kawasaki, Honda, all of the brands except cruiser brands and Triumph. And I'm telling you now that riding all of those bikes made one thing super clear to me. And that is that the Yamaha MT-07, not MT-3, not MT-9, not MT-10, but the MT-07 is the best bike for at least the last 20 years. First of all, it's a revolutionary design. The way the Yamaha made their naked motorcycles, I know they weren't first, and I know they weren't perfect, but goddamn it, you can see the inspiration on so many bikes. If you ask me, they really paved the way for naked motorcycles that are rather upright, you know, for people that commute and stuff like that. And why I think it's the best of its kind and the best motorcycle is because it can literally do anything. It's the perfect mix between sport bike, naked bike, street bike, adventure bike, goddamn all the bikes, touring bike, all of those bikes. It can do anything if you put in the effort. For example, if you keep it stock, it's a good street and kind of like sport bike even. You can really take corners hard with it. It accelerates fast, it goes fast. I mean, if you go with your sport friends, you're gonna be able to keep up on this bad beast. Maybe if you go to the track, it's gonna be a little bit harder, but it's so super capable to keep up. And because it's one of the world's most popular motorcycles right now, it's actually super easy to find parts to it, new wheels, maybe you need a new lever, new display. You can find everything to this bike, and it's not super expensive because Yamaha themselves kind of aimed in to make this bike not super expensive. If you think about what you get with this bike, it's a goddamn steal. It's so freaking cheap, man. And because it's not actually a sport bike, the insurance on this little bad boy is so good. It's so cheap. I mean, obviously it's not the cheapest around, but for going like this, it's a goddamn good insurance, trust me. The chance of me dying on this bike is so high and my insurance is so low. What's so good about it is that if you're a beginner, it's a great starting bike. It really is. I would recommend to get it restricted or at least ride like a 125 before you get this bike. Because yes, it is a very good beginner bike, but I think 700 is a little steep to start on. But that's up to you, of course. Everyone has their own preference. In my case, I rode a 125 for 2 years. Then I bought this one. It was supposed to be restricted. It's not. That is all speculations. Don't sue me. And we can't forget the riding position of this bike. Oh my god, it's so goddamn comfortable. The seat isn't the softest, but it allows you to sit on it for a really long time. and most of the problems with the suspensions, the engine braking, those have all been resolved now, at least since the 2018 model. I have had no issues with this. Maybe the suspension is a little bit wonky. You can actually fix that. There's a great video about that. It's the one fatal flaw of MT-07, I believe. I'll put it in the description down below as well. I haven't fixed it. It seemed like a lot of work for a very small issue, but if you really want to, you can do that. And despite its upright seating position, you can really do whatever you want. You scoot your ass back on the wider part, and you can kind of go into a form of sport mode. You can bend out your knees super easily. You can put up on the pegs, put down on the pegs. You can even do a little bit of a off-road stance on it. And if you watch Jake the Garden Snake, you can even see that you can rebuild these to like an off-road beast. He's currently working on it. That motorcycle is looking amazing. I love watching those videos. He's come very far on it. I can't wait to see how the final product is gonna look. And if you're a bit of a hooligan, the Yamaha MT-07 gives you everything you need. First, unplug the ABS. No need for that. Second, with all of that torque, you're not gonna have any problems. You can, if you do clutch ups, it's just gonna go up. Just watch anyone that owns an MT-07 except me, and they're always up here with it. I'm the only one riding all wheels down, and even I have done some power wheelies on it. I mean, goddamn. It's such an amazing bike to grow on whatever you want to do. It's so good. It's so good. And we can't even get over the fact that it's actually super pretty. Let's stop right over here so I can show you just how freaking sexy this bike is, man. If this bike was a woman, I'd kiss her. I mean, just look at this bike. Just look at it. Of course, you won't have these cool red lights that I have, but I mean, it looks so good. It looks so good. I mean, even if you don't like the Yamaha MT-07, some people don't like the way you sit on it, you know. But I mean, ooh, you gotta admit, it looks good. It looks really good. It might have some elements where it's a little bit cheap. I mean, the only thing I can actually complain about, this button feels super plastic. All of this feels very low end. The handlebar here, this isn't the sexiest, but everything else, God, it's so nice. It looks so good. It's such a good looking bike, and it's a nightmare to clean because it's a naked bike, but god damn it, it looks so good. And here's the last thing why I think a lot of people actually don't like this bike. And it's a jack of all trades, but it's a master of none, okay? So once you've been riding this for a while, for example, I've been riding this bike for 2 years, I absolutely love it, but I'm starting to get tired of it. And you know why? Because riding this bike made me realize that I want a sport bike. I love this bike because I can do whatever I want with it, but I could sacrifice a lot of the comforts of this bike for a sport bike. But when I bought my first motorcycles, I never wanted a sport bike. I thought the riding style was super aggressive. I thought it wouldn't be comfortable. I thought I would never enjoy it. But after actually riding this bike for 2 years, I realized, you know what? I like a lot about the sporty things. I think this bike is missing a lot of the stuff I really wished it had. Because this is all fun, but I really wish I wouldn't be hit by so goddamn much wind. And I know I can buy a windscreen and stuff, but you get what I mean. The aerodynamics of a sport bike is obviously superior than the aerodynamics of a naked bike. But I would have never realized that if I hadn't bought this motorcycle. And that is why this is the best motorcycle ever made, or at least made for the last 20 years. Because it doesn't matter who you are, everyone is going to enjoy this bike. You might not enjoy it as much as somebody else. I mean, obviously I am cursed with some brand loyalty. I love Yamaha, I love all of their bikes, and you know, that obviously infects my opinion a little, maybe a lot. But if you really like going fast, you love sport bikes, you love doing corners, and someone like, oh, you wrecked your bike, and they're like, you can get this bike really cheap, you could jump on that opportunity because you know you're gonna be able to do almost everything you did. And no matter who you are, you're gonna love this bike. And this is almost a sales pitch. Hey guys, welcome back to Yamaha store. I'm Danof. Today we're gonna talk about why you should buy this bike. Well, first of all, it's a good bike, and it got a lot of horsepower. And the sole reason why I think it's so superior to so many other bikes is because it offers something so similar to everyone. everyone will feel something they enjoy in this bike. For example, if you take the Kawasaki ER6N that the Yellow Rider has, that's an amazing bike. I really enjoy that bike, but it has a bit of a different seating position than a lot of other bikes, and it's comfortable. I like it. I like the way you're sitting on that bike. It's really nice. It's nice for your butt. But if you're then gonna switch out to a different bike, you're not gonna sit like that anymore. You're gonna sit like almost normal bikes, because at least how it felt for me, that bike has a rather unique way of sitting. I don't know. I've never sat on a bike that has that seat. It's kind of hard to explain, but once you switch out from that bike, you're gonna be like, oh wait, you know, this is pretty different. And well, this bike is so familiar. It's so familiar. I mean, yeah, to be fair, getting used to a new seat doesn't take long, but you don't even have to with this one. Maybe it would take you like a day or two to get used to new seat, but you would never have that problem here. And these bikes have so many qualities for new riders as well. You can know when you're riding in eco, which if you're a new rider means you're probably going a little bit low on the revs. You know your speed. I hope most bikes have that. You know your gear. That's really nice. You have your time. You have your goddamn gas. I mean, it's a really slick and nice display, and it's really friendly for new users, if you ask me. I mean, even this little thing that shows your engine temperature, all you gotta know about that is when the fan goes on, I think it's too high, and when it says LO, it's too low. Wait. It's such a nice bike for new riders. You don't have to worry about a single thing with this bike. This bike will tell you if something's wrong. It's super light as well. Almost everyone can lift it. It's not too high up. I can flat foot this bike. I'm super tall, I promise. It's just a really nice stepping stone. That's how I would say it. It's I've been talking for so long I don't remember what I've said and not said. Moral of the story, I think it's the best bike ever made, okay? But what can I say? It's just if you want to get someone into riding, this is the bike to get them. This is the bike, okay? There's nothing else. There's nothing else. Everything is so cheap to this bike as well. It's such a good stepping stone. Just listen to my enthusiasm. Isn't it contagious? Buy the bike. Buy the bike. That's all I have to say. I've been talking for too long. I am not good at just talking about stuff. I hope this video made a lot of sense. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, remember to like and subscribe. It means a lot to me. And also, I want to see your comments down below, because I base this on myself. I really want to see what some of your opinions are. If you agree with me, if you disagree, leave it down below, and I'll see you in the next video.
And a special thank you to patrons Amu, Mr. Blazer, and Matthias Palmquist.